up, y'all? It's your man Collazo, Chaotic Knockout News, and I'm here with your boy Jobit, Promesa, Collazo from Undisputed Promotions, 1-0. I want to know what's up, how's everything? How you feeling?
Chilling, bro. Chilling. Everything's good. Going good, yeah.
I want to thank you for having me here. We got a nice little setup today. We over here on the beach, over here in Clearwater, your hometown, Tampa. I want to ask you, bro, where were you born and where you was raised at?
I was born and raised in Tampa. My whole family's from Puerto Rico. But me and my sister were really the one, and a couple cousins, we were really the only ones born in Tampa. So yeah, just born and raised in Tampa, and that's where I'm from.
What was it like living in Tampa, growing up in Tampa? What was the lifestyle like, and what are some things that you learned growing up and you grateful of growing up in Tampa, living?
Honestly, living in Tampa is, how do I say it? It's like a privilege. You know, being able to know both languages. My first language was Spanish because I with my mom and my stepdad, all we spoke was Spanish. All she spoke to me was Spanish. So I learned English when I got into school. And I started school. That's where I learned English. So growing up in Tampa and having the friends I grew up with and the people that I was around growing up, it's a privilege. I wouldn't be where I'm at without Tampa.
So you got a pro boxer here, and it always starts somewhere. There's always that first look, that first thought, that movie, that fight, that motivation. What got you into the sport of boxing, and what age were you, and how did all that start off?
Yeah. So when I was 7, my biological dad, he was locked up, and my stepdad raised me since I was like 2 months old. So he was always a big WWE fan, a big UFC fan. Everything was always like something of fighting. And so while my cousins and stuff were playing with cars and this, I was playing with action figures and watching WWE and watching UFC. And every time Mayweather fought or Cotto fought, we'd all get together and we'd all watch the fights. So, at the age of 7, I had a lot of energy. So my mom was like, for him to waste his energy, I'm going to just put him in MMA. I started with MMA.
Okay.
And, at the age of, I did that until I was 11. And then I tried boxing. I seen a video of Danny Garcia, kind of telling his story on how his dad was locked up. And how he wasn't there for a little, time period of his life. And so I kind of related to it. And I was like, what, like I want to box. I want to try boxing. And at the age of 11, I got into a gym. And actually my first sparring, I got dropped. Like, the first time I sparred, I got dropped. I got dropped to the body.
How was that feeling? Like, you got dropped. Like,
yeah.
Was it like, did that slow you down? Did you like think twice about boxing after that?
Obviously in the moment, I was 11 years old. Like, I was crying, I was hurting, but from that moment is where I fell in love with it. You know what I mean? Like, I fell in love with the pain of it. I fell in love with the beauty of boxing, art of boxing. So ever since I really just fell in love with it and I've stuck with it and I've tried other sports and, nothing really caught my attention like boxing has caught my attention.
What you saying Danny Garcia and stuff like that. You was watching videos and him. Would you say like he's one of the boxers that motivated you to get into the sport?
Yeah,
to keep you going, like to get started and get that started. And that's one thing about Danny Garcia. I respect him. There was that one fight he had, and at the end of the fight, he broke down and stuff. But he was honest, and he was like, he been going through stuff mentally, and like it's hard for a lot of guys out here to like own up to, oh, I'm going through this, I'm going through that, or nowadays we men, we gotta be the man that like. We got to show power no matter what. We got to act like nothing is bothering us.
Yeah.
No matter what we're going through, we got to show how solid we are. And sometimes that break a man because no matter how solid you're trying to be it like to show the world that you okay inside, nigga, when you by yourself, when you're going through it, that's when you feel it. So it's a good thing to have certain sports and have things like that to help you get your mind off hard stuff. And that's one thing to get Danny Garcia. He's definitely going to be in the Hall of Fame. Like, that guy's a great fighter. And, so yeah, he's definitely a motivated person to people in the game.
And with Danny, like watching that video and watching the mental health, like I haven't told nobody, but actually, like this is where I, this next fight, July 18th, is dedicated to guys, to specifically men going through mental health problems. Because after my last fight, you know what I mean, like so beginning of this year, both of my grandparents died, like back to back. And thank you, bro. And so from there, I kind of just like. I ain't push it to a side, but I ain't really like focus on it to heal, to cope. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just kind of like, I turned that into, in a way, anger and motivation. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna go even harder now. Like, and that's what I did. But after the fight, like, I didn't have a date yet. I didn't really have nothing to like. Okay, I'm gonna do this for y'all. Obviously, I'm gonna live right for y'all. But something that really like motivated me, and so from there I started, focusing on the death of my grandparents, and there I started going through
You was pain into motivation.
through the pain and mental stuff and stuff like that. And I've never dealt with like anxiety attacks and this and these type of things. And like at the gym, I started getting like anxiety attacks, hitting the bag and like just going through stuff, breaking down in the bathroom, like and I don't really.
And that's the big thing about mental health. This is the thing that a lot of people don't see, and we try to stay solid. And no matter how sorry we try to go through it, it's
exactly.
Awesome.
And so like while I was doing that, like I was kind of like, what's going on? Like this is probably like the worst I've been mentally. And so step one, I had to lock in with God first. Like, you know what I mean? Like boxing was not going to heal my problems. My grandparents, rest in peace. They're not going to hear my problems. Like they're not here. And so, me talking to anybody, it helps, but it's not going to solve or heal my problems. Like God is the only thing that was going to heal my problems. So I acknowledged that, and I took that first step into giving God that, that pain. And from there, it turned into actual motivation without the pain, without the anger. And obviously I missed them, but it's, I live in peace knowing where they're at and that they're good. Amen. And so yeah, this fight is dedicated to those struggling with mental health issues. And just to let y'all know that it's possible to get out of that, and let y'all know that with God first, anything is possible.
Yeah, speak up. Don't feel alone.
Yeah.
If there's someone that's close to you, speak your word out. Let it go. Let it be known. That one person could motivate you to something better. From amateur to pro. So going to the gym at 11 years old. So how was the process going into pro? You had an amateur career. What did you go? What experiences did you go through before pro in the fighting world?
Yeah. So, as an amateur, I did a couple nationals. I had 40 fights in total. In MMA, I had like over 250 fights. Like, MMA was really like.
So you had MMA in your scope of.
Yeah. So I had different competitions and different fights and tournaments and stuff, and I had like over 250 fights in MMA. And then I did 40 boxing, and as an amateur, I went on there was a point in time where I went on a losing streak, and everybody was like, "Yo, you suck. Yo, you did," like even family, like family, like I'm talking about close family, like, and they'd be like, "Yo, you suck. I'm not going to your fight just to see you lose. I'm not doing like, you know what I mean, like
no support."
Yeah, exactly.
And so about them.
And so from there, really, I just wanted to quit. I wanted to give it up. I was like, "This is not for me. I'm not good. Like, let it be." And my mom, I got to give it to her. She's the main one. Like, no, you're gonna box. Like, I know what you got. You know what I mean? And I'm a push. I'm gonna keep pushing it until you see what you got. And so thank God for her, she's kept me in the sport. And going pro, when I made the move to pro, everybody as an amateur, they'd like, some coaches would tell me like, you have a pro style. You at nationals, they'd be like, "Oh, just wait till you go pro. Like there, you're really gonna go up." And so going pro, I kind of always wanted to go pro. But at the beginning of like the transition, there was like a little doubt in my mind, obviously, like from the stuff that I was going, like that I used to go through, and the stuff that people used to tell me, like I would believe it.
It would like put you down a little bit. You felt like you didn't have it in you. Like even though you had it in you, they just put you down to the mentality that you wasn't there.
And thank God I found Christ, because He's the one that got me believing in myself.
He gives me the faith that I got every day.
Yeah, and so going pro, once I gave the transition to Him as well, like just giving it to Him and letting Him do whatever He wants to do with it. I started believing in myself. I started training even harder, 2-3 times a day with a new team. My professional team isn't the same one as my amateur team, so it's a new team. It's a new, and this is the best like connection I've had with a coach, with a team, with a promoter, with a stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so the transition couldn't have been smoother. It was perfect. It was, you know what I mean? And so I'm glad I made the move, and to everybody that said I couldn't do it, I did it. So
I wanted to ask you, how did that pro contract come about, and how was that feeling when it came? When you got the call, the experience started coming, how did you get about yourself? How did that feel?
So So when I first went pro, I was in talks with Undisputed Promotions, which is who I'm signed with now,
Shout
Anthony
out to
Arvello.
Anthony
Yeah,
from
thank you, Anthony.
Undisputed. Shout out, Ant.
And so with them, I was in Philly for like, training. I was in Philly doing a training camp, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was supposed to fight in Philly. That's why I was over there, and that didn't go through. I had 2 fights in Tampa that didn't go through.
Where in Tampa do they usually do fights at out here? What's up, y'all? It's your man Chaos from Chaotic Knockout News. I want to shout out one of my sponsors for this video today. Shout out here in Clearwater Beach. Without y'all, this is not gonna happen. 2 Wild Sports, best in the game in Florida, Central Florida. They ship out to New York, Boston, PA, wherever you want to go. Best batting gloves in the game, best custom socks in the game, baseball uniform, top, bottom, hats, and they host the best tournaments out in Orlando. If you ever want to play softball in Orlando, you don't got a team or nothing. They host drafts. You pay $50 to $80, covers your jersey, your pants, your hat, and it covers you for the tournament. They do a draft style tournament. You get picked up on the team and you showcase your sport. Everybody loves them, and I'm sure you would too. So go check out 2 Wild Sports. I appreciate you for sponsoring this interview, and go check them out.
In downtown? No. Yeah, in downtown. They have like their own promotion and stuff, and that didn't go through.
Was you like feeling like, was you down at that moment when all that was going on, that maybe they was thinking down on you or anything like that? Like you had a little hiccup into coming into your pro career?
Like I even, I was like, I thought it was not what God wanted me to do. Honestly, I was like, yeah, maybe this isn't what God wants me to do. Like I'm gonna train, and if the call comes, it comes. But I'm gonna stay ready. And so that's what I did. I stayed ready, and I've been connected with Anthony since the amateurs, because he used to do amateur shows, and I fought for him. I fought for him once as an amateur, so I knew him from there. And you know what I mean? I know Carlos. I know a couple people signed by him, and so I was like, you know what? Let me reach out. I reached out, and I was like, yo, bro, like I just need an opportunity. I didn't ask for a contract, and I just asked for an opportunity. And he was like, all right, let's do it. And, look at God, like he went above and beyond. He gave me a contract. You know what I mean? All I asked was for an opportunity to prove myself. And he gave me a contract. Anthony taking a risk with me, knowing what I got, but not really knowing what I got. You know what I mean? Like, he took a risk with me, promoted me well, and making that transition with Undisputed Promotions, like I said, it couldn't have gone smoother. Now I'm on a great platform with great people.
Good
fighting.
Team. Great
team
exactly.
So,
you got Corey, you got Travius, you got Amos, you got Carlos Lebron. You told me you was cool, Carlos Lebron. What type of past you got with Carlos Lebron in the past?
Yeah. Me and Carlos, we grew up going like to nationals together. He was actually like, you know what I mean? Like we would go to nationals together, and like let's say days we wouldn't fight, we would just sit in the room playing Fight Night on the Xbox. He'd bring his Xbox, and we'd all play Fight Night, and we do like tournaments with the rest of the guys. And so it's a couple guys out there that we all grew up together from Florida, going to nationals together.
And what is it being able to compete with him in nationals together and be able to be pro together against the same team? It's a great experience. Mm-hmm. It's a good feeling, and that's good because I'm sure now you feel more comfortable. You're not going into a promotion that you don't know anybody or anything like that, and now you get that better feeling. You can go into the fight feeling comfortable. You could
for sure.
be in a better zone. What was your friends and family feeling like once you got that first pro contract? How did they feel? And I know, like you said, there were some people that was talking down on you before, and they didn't see you like as of making it or anything like that, talking down the amateurs when you had a losing record. But now that the pro contract came, like, did those people come try to be cool now? Family, friends, how did they feel? What was that feeling like for the family? I know they was excited, but what was it like telling them? What was that experience?
Before I say it, I say it respectfully. And, like saying this, I say it with respect. But some of those people that like, oh, we're not going to go to your fights because you suck. All you do is lose. Oh, my God, we're going to go to your fight because you're our champion. You know what I mean? You're a professional. You're our champion. So, and that's really all I'm going to say, like, about, that part. But making the transition to professional with family and friends, like, my mom fully supported me. Obviously, she's a Puerto Rican mom. So she's like, I mean, like,
that's like, definitely how it goes.
Exactly. So, but I was confident in myself. My dad's out now, so he was there and he supported me throughout my amateur career as well.
That's something really great for him. Coming home.
Yeah.
I'm sure he was happy for that. So
yeah,
God bless him for that.
So like, and him also being able to be a part of my team, like he makes all my shirts and all my, like, you know what I mean, like
stuff like that.
Like for this fight, when you see everybody with a La Promesa shirt on, my dad made it.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Nice.
What's it called? By the way, I gotta get you one of those.
Thank you.
But yeah, making a transition with family and friends, most of them supported. And even the ones that didn't supported. So yeah.
And your time's coming. So whoever didn't they not around, that's their problem.
Yeah,
I'm sure you're about to shine. So transition from amateur to pros, the training might be a little different. Now you gotta train a little harder. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like you on major platforms. You on TV. You being exposed on social media and stuff like that. So what was the transition from a regular boxing world to being a pro fighter? Now I know you have to step up the game. What was that step up like?
So as an amateur, I used to maybe train once and then run, or just train once and run during training. Now as a professional, I train 2 to 3 times a day, Monday through Saturday. You know, strict diet. You know, just honestly discipline. It's a lot more discipline, a lot more. You gotta want it, because now you're gonna get hurt.
Who helps you with your diets? How do you go about that? Like, I know you gotta stay on weight. Where are you sitting at right now?
Right now I'm at like 150.
And where are you fighting at?
135.
How you go about dropping that?
Yeah, so usually I walk around pretty heavy. I walk around, you know, I'm a big boy for 135. I walk around like 160. And but thank God I have a nutritionist. Her name is her Instagram is GMC Meals. And she helps me a lot with my nutrition. Like she cooks good, so it's not like I'm suffering while I'm dieting.
Okay.
So she cooks good. I just eat very portion, drink a lot of water, and I train really hard. And so with those 3 things together, like the weight comes down pretty quick, pretty easy. The last week is really the
crunch time. That's what's actually. When is crunch time? Like when is like, my fight's coming up. I got a week, 2 weeks. Yeah. Now I got to start sweatsuit, sauna, sweat down. When is that break point?
Yeah, so I try to stay away from the sauna suits and stuff unless I have to.
Okay.
But really, it's just sauna. The last week is like week and a half is like crunch week. Like we go hard and we just focus on just straight cutting weight. So that's just like, you know, maybe, you know, if we have to throw on a sauna suit and hit mitts for like, you know, 20 minutes straight, go for a run, a light run, take some hot bath, sauna, you know, things like that, and just sweat it off. But the last week is really crunch week. Like for this last one, you know, it was my first time making 135 since I was like 16. And so it was like, it was hard, but it wasn't really hard. You know what I mean?
That
like,
helped.
Yeah. So like as soon as I stepped off the scale, I came back up and I rehydrated really well. And so, but making the weight, you know, it's not like impossible.
Bad,
you know what I mean?
It's
like
not bad, but it's a work. It's a low process.
Exactly.
How's camp now? Are there anything? What would you say is your favorite day at camp, and what would you say is your least favorite day in camp?
Yeah. My favorite day at camp, sparring. Yeah, sparring. I've been sparring some good guys this camp.
Why is it sparring? Well, what makes that your favorite day?
Me personally, I think it's the realest. You know, the realest. How do I say it? Like, that's the realest feeling of a fight. You know what I mean? Like.
Hi. Did you say something?
Hey, Clearwater's crazy, guys. Clearwater's crazy. Trying to hit on my cameraman while we doing the interview.
What was the question?
We were talking about camp. Your favorite, why sparring your favorite thing in camp? Yeah, people are crazy out there.
But what's it called? So yeah, my favorite part of camp is sparring. I've been sparring some good competition this sparring, and I think it's the realest feeling to a fight. And so that's why I like sparring a lot, and having competitive sparring and stuff like that. I know that, at some point a fight is gonna, be competitive as sparring, like with these top guys, undefeated guys.
So you need to see that. You need to see
exactly. I need to see that now,
so
that when I get there, I'm ready. You know what I mean?
And stuff like that.
So
heights and stuff, length, wingspan, and stuff.
And my least favorite is probably, I don't know, really. I really had fun with it. Like, it'd be hard, but my main key is, like, every time I step in the gym, I turn my music on and I just have fun.
Lock in.
If not, then they're all going to be my least favorite.
So I wanted to ask you, leading to your first fight, we were talking about from you going amateur to pro, transitioning in the gym, the feeling. Now you're a pro boxer. You have the contract. You're on the flyer. You're getting love. A lot of people are shouting you out. What's that feeling like? Having fans come up to you in the Carib. You have the media day. You got the weigh-in. You got people coming to show you love. What's that feeling like? First pro event. How do you feel about that? What's up, y'all? You man, Chaos. Okay, I knock on news. I want to thank you, Hartford South LLC, for sponsoring this video, because without you, this is not going to happen. Hartford South was one of the best roofing companies out here in Central Florida. Takes care of a lot of commercial buildings, a lot of hospitals, a lot of schools, Sea World, a lot of these big buildings, Orlando Magic Training Center, Carib Royale, where a lot of these fighters fight at. And I'm going to drop this little video so you can see some work they got going on. I want to thank you, Hartford South, for taking care of me, sponsoring this video. Everybody go check them out.
I feel at home for real.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, since a kid, I've never been shy of a camera. Like, as a kid, really, when I was doing MMA, they would have these, like, amateur shows, but they'd be, like, in MMA, to go amateur, you got to be 18.
Okay.
So they would all be, 18 or over. I was, like, 8 years old, and I was, like, I'd be stepping on a stool interviewing the fighters, like, you know what I mean? Like, so...
Oh, so you're doing what I'm doing right
yeah,
now.
exactly. But, like, I was, like, 8 years old doing it. And, you know what I mean? Like, and not for me to like publish it anywhere. It's just for me, like for fun. So I never really been scared of a camera, and I love, I'm outgoing. I love people. I love, associating with people. So just receiving all the love from the fans, like it feels good. It feels at home. Like this my debut with the media day, with the weigh-ins, with the fight, like I enjoyed the whole moment. Like I enjoyed it all. I knew as soon as as an amateur, I used to like get in trouble by coach because he would tell me like, "Yo, sit down," like, you know what I mean, relax. And I was out talking to everybody because I'm just an outgoing person. As soon as I sit down and I'm just like, then I start getting in my own head and I start like trying to play out the fight. I should start, trying to do this, do that, and so I rather just talk to people. I rather be with fans. I rather be with family like before the fight, and so throughout the whole process, I just enjoyed the moment.
So what was that feeling like? Now you got families in the crowd, selling tickets. What was that experience like? I know you probably had, I think, people in VIP tables,
Yeah.
I believe, from what I saw.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
for a person in their pro debut, to have people getting VIP tables and having the fans, I remember people had t-shirts that day too as well. So how was that? That was great. I want to be pro soon.
And it feels good. It feels really good. Selling tickets, like you'll see the outcome of it, like at the fight. You know what I mean? Like
when people are supporting,
exactly throughout the whole process of selling tickets and of doing this and doing that, it's frustrating, it's stressing, because you're like yo, like I have this much tickets left, I gotta sell them. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's stressing, and it's stressful. But when you see it at the fight, people in tables, people with your shirts on, people yelling your name, like, you know what I mean? Like, it feels good. Like, even in the ring, like, you know what I mean? Like, during the walkout, the first person I saw was my sister and my dad. So, like, seeing them and seeing like, that they're proud of me and cheering me on, like, it feels really good.
What was some first pro fight feelings you was going through?
I was nervous until I started getting my hands wrapped. You know what I mean? So throughout the whole camp, throughout the whole fight week, like things like that, like I was a little nervous. But once I started getting my hands wrapped, like I started having fun. I enjoyed the moment. So I felt good.
So you win the first fight, beat them up. I'm just put it like that. You beat them up. What's that feeling like? Fans going crazy.
Yeah.
You got your first win. And what is that like?
So it felt again good. This guy, like the guy I fought in my debut, I didn't know him, but I knew who he was because I had some sparring partners that had fought him before. And so I seen videos and stuff. He told me after the fight that this is the hardest he's trained, and that he really thought he was gonna win this one. And so,
To know you came out and perform how you perform.
yeah,
it's
exactly.
great.
And so, like, not throwing shade at nobody, but some of these fighters, they fight people who just, you touch them here and they're gonna take a knee and collect a check. So I was kind of happy that I got the rounds in. I was happy that I fought not somebody who's gonna lay down, but somebody who came to fight and came to win. And I made it, I beat him up, like, you know what I mean? Like,
you got the
and I
W.
say it like in a humble way, but I did what I had to do, and so it felt good.
Outside of boxing, what keeps you grounded and motivated?
Yeah, one, God, and two, my mom and my sister, they've been with me since the beginning, from beginning to end. Every tournament, every fight, anything, they've been there, and after every loss or after everything, like, they've been the one there. You know what I mean? So it's for them, but mainly it's for God. Knowing where I come from, knowing who gave me this, and why. If I got it from Him, why not do it for Him? And so, yes.
And you saying that about God and stuff, like I said, I respect it because I had my time that I went through a hard time, a difficult time, and I didn't know what to do, and the wind is crazy right now. And what I did was, like, I talked to God. He helped me get out that difficult situation, and I asked Him, like, if He can help me get out of the situation, I promise, like, I'm faithful to You. And it helped me get through what I was going through. So when you say that's your ground, not only Him, but God, your family, your mom, your sister, I respect it 1,000%. What advice will you give to young fighters coming up?
Young fighters coming up, I would say be consistent, and obviously everybody says to train hard. It's not cliche, but it's real. You're not gonna get nowhere if you don't train hard. But the two main things I would say is be consistent and put God first. But be consistent, because every time you take a loss, every time you take a break, or breaks don't help you at all. Like, I don't think breaks help at all. But after every loss, after every fight, after every win, anything, just be consistent. Get right back in the gym and go even harder. I don't care how many times you win, and I don't care how many nationals you got. I don't care how much experience you got. Keep going hard. Go harder every single time. And if you do that, and you get as far as you want.
So tell me, what's one of your favorite boxing movies that's out right now?
Boxing movies.
If you had to say your favorite boxing movie, what would your favorite boxing movie be?
Not your neighbor. No, I'm joking. What's it called? That George Foreman movie, I really like.
Alright, that was a good one.
Yeah, that George Foreman. I think it's because I relate to it. My story is different, and how I encounter Christ is different. But he was on the same mission that I'm on now, and that's to do things right. And so yeah, I would say the George Foreman movie.
If you wasn't boxing, what do you think you'd be doing?
Nothing good.
Nothing
I say
good.
it like that, yeah, nothing good. Honestly.
Would you have another goal that maybe you probably would have set, or just whatever comes in the way of life?
Sport-wise, no, because I've never been good at nothing else. Just fighting. And the way I was going before locking in with boxing and locking in, I'm talking about like locking in for real, with life and with boxing, like the way I was going, I wouldn't be doing nothing good right now. And so yeah, I would say, like, if I had to say something though, like for real, I'd probably be like cutting hair. Because, something that I was very passionate about learning and doing, and I still find interest in it. It's cutting hair.
We got somebody bringing us in.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
And yeah, I would say cutting hair.
All right, that's dope. So we about to wrap it up over here. We here with Joe Collazo. I want to show I got a little prize for you.
Yes, sir.
Part of the team. Thank you for letting me interview today. Thank you for letting me know about your life.
Sure.
This is for you, my brother. I want to let you know July 11th after the big in one spot. It's simply with the flyer for y'all. We have a meet and greet with Collazo, Carlos Lacola, and we also got July 18th. My man's gonna be on the show, Caribe Royale. fighting on the Box Shop promotion card, right? So all y'all stay tuned. The second fight in, and I'm sure he's going in for another knockout. Going for 2-0, 2 KO. Everybody tune in with my bro. I appreciate you for having me today. Thanks for popping up out here. And y'all stay.